So the new zombies map, Mauer Der Toten, is now out for Black Ops Cold War, and here I'll show you guys how to get the amazing Cerberus wonder weapon absolutely free by showing you every step easily and how to upgrade the weapon with different mods too once you actually get the weapon. So there's several ways to get this wonder weapon, and I'm going to show you guys the fastest and best way, and then a few other ways towards the end of the video which aren't guaranteed but may be easier than the main method. So it's up to you guys which method you go for, but don't worry, I'll be explaining it all in this video so it hopefully isn't too confusing. I'll have some timestamps in the description if you want to jump to a specific part of it. But if you're interested, I've also got other Mauer Der Toten guides like turning on the power, pack punching, building Klaus, and I'll have some other ones too. So if you need a more detailed guide for any of the steps in this video, then check out those videos with a card on screen or a link in the description. I've also got a playlist with all these Mauer Der Toten videos. So if you need anything else, go and check them out. Otherwise, let's jump into this guide. So the first major stage to get this wonder weapon is to build Klaus, which is a robot, and you'll need him in order to unlock the wonder weapons. So the main things you need to do in order to get Klaus are to turn on the power, activate the pack-a-punch machine, find 3 parts, and then deposit those parts in order to build Klaus. So the first step you want to do is turn on the power. I have a full guide for that if you guys are interested, but very briefly what you need to do is zipline from the starting room to the destroyed penthouse and then zipline across to the COD rooftop. You want to then run down there to the ground floor and onto the East Berlin streets, and on that street head to the back of the bar. There'll be a Tempest there, kill that, it will drop a fuse. Then go to the underground station, go round to the back through to the power room. There'll be like a diamond Q on screen to show you where to go. Flip the switch, it will then fail to turn on the power properly. Go to the back of that power room, down to the sewer access, there'll be a second Tempest, kill that one, it will drop another fuse. Go back to the power room, put both fuses into the console, and then you can flip the switch and the power will turn on. So that's the power done, but if you're stuck with that, I've got a detailed guide. There will be a video for that, either the playlist or there'll be a card on screen. So once you've done that, you then want to activate the pack-a-punch machine. So basically, you're in that sewer room with the second Tempest. You then want to turn right there under the arch, rappel up onto the West Berlin streets by Checkpoint Charlie. There's like a tank and a pile of cars. Run over the pile of cars. There'll be a floating ring of enemies. Kill those. And once you kill the Disciple, the pack-a-punch machine will now be available to use. You can then pack-a-punch your weapon, although you don't actually need to at this stage. So that's the pack-a-punch unlocked, and like I say, if you're struggling with that, there is a detailed guide for that as well. Now the third thing you need to do is you need to find 3 parts for Klaus. So the first one will be a microwave dish, and you can find this by digging up debris piles in the death pit, which is next to Checkpoint Charlie where the pack-a-punch machine is. So to the left of where the pack-a-punch machine is, there's like a strip there with like flashlights shining on it, and it's like a muddy ground. Check there, there'll be little piles which you can dig up, and you can search those, and they'll give you things like salvage and whatnot, but also it will drop ammo and other stuff, and probably armor, and at some point you'll also get this microwave dish. Now, I've only found it on the left side of pack-a-punch machine, but if you dug up all the piles on that left side and you've not found it, it might be worth checking the right hand side because there's a strip there as well. So I've only found it on the left, but it may occur on the right, I don't know. But have a good look around, make sure you don't miss any of those piles, and you will find the microwave dish. While you're at that area, make sure you have 2,500 points to buy the brain rot ammo mod from the pack-a-punch machine, so you don't actually need to pack-a-punch your weapon, but whatever weapon you're using, you need an ammo mod on it for later on. So while you're here, get 2,500 points and buy that brain rot ammo mod. Obviously, if you have enough, you can pack-a-punch your weapon if you want to, but it's not necessary. You then need to find some robotic hands, so you need to enter hotel room 305 of the hotel with the yellow neon sign, and that's back on the East Berlin street. So you access it via ziplining from the starting room, that was like the 5th floor apartment, or from the door on the left of the COD rooftop, which is the building with the red neon sign. So near that starting area, there's a hotel across it. You need to get to there. There's 2 ways to get there. And when you're in the hotel, go to the back left area. It'll be room 305, and there'll be a door on the back wall which is barricaded. Now what you want to do is bring 1 zombie here near to this barricaded door, so make sure it actually comes close to that door, and when it's near, you need to shoot it, at which point it should experience the brain rot effect and become turned. It will always do it if the zombie is near that door. If it's not close enough, it won't become turned. So make sure you get it close to the door. Once the brain rot effect sets in, it becomes turned. It will then rip off the barricades to the door, allowing you to enter the secret room behind it in room 305. So there's like 2 bits to the room, and you can only access the main bit until you get the zombie to rip the barricades off. You can then go up to the corpse, which is Agent Jack, and he's on the bed, and if you hold square or X to interact with the body and pick up the robotic hands, you'll get the second part from that secret room. Next, what you'll need to do is find the battery. This is the third part, and what you have to do is wait until round 10, at which point a Panzer, i.e. a Kranzi Soldat they're called, will spawn. You want to kill it, and it will drop a battery collectible, which you can pick up, and then I would say it may help to use the Ring of Fire field upgrade to kill the Panzer more easily. But once you've killed the Panzer, that's the battery, and that's the third part you need for building Klaus. Now what you need to do in step 4 is deposit these parts. So one part will go to the garment factory and the other 2 will go to the safe house. So if you go to the garment factory, which is the room under the roof of the Korber building, the one with the red neon sign, if you go there and go up to the upgrade station in the corner in this garment factory, and you hold square or X to interact with the station, you can place the microwave dish on that upgrade station. You've then done that, and you can head downstairs again to the underground station, go through there, go through the switch control room and the maintenance tunnel to reach the safe house room with Klaus the robot. So you want to head over to Klaus when you're in that room, and you want to hold square or X to interact with the robot, and that will allow you to install the robotic hands and the battery. So those 2 parts will go to Klaus directly, the other one will go to the garment factory, as you've said. Once you've deposited all 3 parts, Klaus will rip out the chair, he'll come alive, and he'll do whatever you want. Okay, so once you've built Klaus, the next thing you need to do is get 3 sets of codes, which we will then use to put into the safe to unlock it to get the wonder weapon. So the first thing you need to do is you need to bring Klaus to the switch control room. So come out the safe house you're in and go to the switch control room. There will be a single locker there, and what you want to do is press the tactical equipment button, which is LB on Xbox or L1 on PlayStation, and this will order Klaus to move to that location. He'll then open the locker, allowing you to pick up a blacklight torch. You can then toggle between a normal torch and a blacklight by pressing up on the D-pad on console. I think it's something else like 5 on PC, but I'm not sure. And then you'll need to visit 3 locations to find the 3 codes which I've just mentioned. So they'll only show up when you use the black light on them, so they don't show up under normal light. You have to use the black light to see them. And the order of these locations, so 1 code for each location, the order of these locations will stay the same every time, and this order corresponds to the 3 codes you'll need to input into the safe. So the first region will give you 1 code, which will be the first code for the safe. The second region will give you the second code for the safe, and the third region will be the third code for the safe. And the place you have to go for them is the same every single time, so it should be fairly straightforward. So the first location you need to go to is the garment factory, which is under the Korber roof, which is the building with the red neon sign. You should be fairly familiar with it by now. So go to the garment factory and you'll see a number 1 written in black on the wall. This indicates obviously that this region gives you the first code for the safe. And just note that the locations of the code within the room will vary from game to game for each region. So one game it might be one place on the wall, another game it might be somewhere else on the wall. It will stay within that room, but it might be somewhere else on the wall. So you've got to look very carefully and make sure you don't miss it. I'm sure this will be where people slip up and think they can't find it. You just got to keep looking and it will be there. So the 2 locations that I know of in this first place, the garment factory, are either the wall by the stairs, or on the opposite side of the room there's like a blackboard, and it was there for me. So my code was 05, meaning the number 5 obviously. So that's my first code from this region. Once you've gone to the garment factory, you then want to go to the service passage, and what you need to do basically is come out of the Korber building, go down onto the East Berlin streets again, and you can either access the service passage via the East Berlin streets. There's like a hatch you can open and drop down, or you can access it via the underground ghost station. If you go to the back of it and to the left by the tracks, there'll be a hidden area and you go through there to get to the service passage. And once you're there, there'll be a yellow ladder in the room to show you that it's the right place. And obviously if you climb up that ladder, you'll go back to the East Berlin streets. So you also see the number 2 in black on the wall in that room, and that will indicate that that's the second code for the safe in this area. So look around the room. My code was above the doorway and it was 39, but it could be anywhere in that room for you. Just keep looking around, you'll find it. It shows up in green. And then once you've done that, you want to then climb up the ladder to the East Berlin street and enter the grocery store, which is on the East Berlin streets. It's a grocery store in the corner. It's called Bauer's Laden, and it's just a food shop basically. So it will have a black number 3 on the wall, and that will indicate obviously that that's the third code for the safe in that room. So look around the room carefully for the code written in green. This one seems a little bit more tricky in where it can be. Mine was on the metal aisle shelf of the shop. It wasn't immediately obvious where it was, but I eventually found it. And weirdly, that was also a number 39 as well. So I had 39 for the second and third code. So obviously tells you that the codes can be the same. They're not always going to be different for each one, but I would recommend writing these codes down if you think you're going to forget them. So once you've got those 3 codes, you can then put them into the safe, and then you say, well, where is the safe? If you head back to the hotel room 305, where you got those robotic hands to build Klaus, there is a safe on the right hand side of that room. So hold square or X to interact with the safe, and this will allow you to enter the codes without the zombies attacking you. So it puts you in this like safe mode, if you'll pardon the pun, and basically the zombies can't come up to you while you're using the safe, which is useful because it'd be very annoying to input the codes while the zombies are there. Now your head position will determine which dial you're working on. So look left to enter the code for the first dial, then obviously look at the middle dial to enter the second code, and the right dial for the third code. So for the first dial, look to the left. This corresponds to the code from your first area, obviously, which was the garment factory. So enter your first code by using L1 or R1 for PlayStation, or LB/RB on Xbox, and you want to turn the dial left or right until it is the same as your number that you had for your code. So for example, my code was 05, so this would mean I'd need to move the dial to the number 5. Now each dot in between the numbers on the dial represents one number, so it'll be like 0, 5, 10, and then obviously each notch in between is 1. So if it was like 6, it'd be 1 dot past the 5 and so on. And then look at the second dial, the middle one, and move the dial until it reaches the number you need for the second code, which was from the service passage. For me, that was 39, so I needed to move it 1 click to the left from 0, and then you want to look at the right dial and move it until it reaches the number for the third code. This was from the grocery store, and again this was 39 for me. And once you put in all 3 codes, press the correct button to use the handle to open the safe. Mine was R3, which is PlayStation, or RS on Xbox, but I suspect that most people it will say circle for PlayStation or B for Xbox. I think it's just because my settings are switched. And then you can open the safe and pick up the wonder weapon, which will be in there for free. Now be aware that once the safe is open, zombies can now start attacking you again, so you want to avoid them doing that if possible, otherwise you might get cornered and die, and that would be very tragic. So now that you've got your wonder weapon, obviously you can use it, but you can also upgrade your wonder weapon as well. So how do you do that? Well, there's a number of ways. The first thing is that obviously you can pack punch your wonder weapon as per usual, so it will obviously do more damage and so on. So definitely do that, and don't forget you can also upgrade your weapons at the weapon and armor stations, so you can do that as well. But pack punching is obviously useful, but it's not the only way to upgrade this wonder weapon. But the other way to do it is by picking up mod kits, which are dropped randomly by certain enemies that die. Now luckily, zombies drop mod kits quite frequently, so you shouldn't have a problem with ammo, and once your mod kit ammo is used up, it will switch back to the original weapon, the main wonder weapon, like base version. So there's 3 different kits you can pick up, and like I say, they're fairly frequently dropped on the floor, so you won't have a problem finding these, I don't think, once you kill some zombies. The 3 mod kits are the Swarm, Blazer, or Diffuser. It just basically means you have a different version of the weapon to use, but they're all fairly decent. I'm not sure which one I prefer, maybe the Blazer or the Swarm, but yeah, they're pretty decent. Really enjoyed using the weapon, and that is how you use and upgrade the weapon. Now, if you don't want to have to build Klaus and open the safe to get the wonder weapon, there are a few other ways, but these are less guaranteed and they might take longer. They might be quicker, so it's worth trying, but if you're having trouble, it's probably best sticking with the main way. But these alternative ways are as follows. So the first one is to complete trials. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that. So you want to visit the trials machine in the West Berlin streets near Checkpoint Charlie, or the Pack-a-Punch machine, and you want to hold square or X to interact with the machine to buy a trial. Now you want to try to keep getting high reward tiers, so for example like rare, epic, or legendary, and then keep doing more trials without collecting your rewards. Leave them there, don't collect them. And eventually, if you keep doing this with more and more trials, you should build up enough to get the wonder weapon, but like I say, you may have to keep trying by doing multiple trials. But keep doing this and you should at some point get the wonder weapon, although it can take quite a long time, although sometimes people get it fairly quickly, it's just random. So that's one way to do it if you don't want to do the main Easter egg step I've been talking about. The other way to get it is by using the mystery box, so it can be earned from the box as shown in the gameplay. So I actually got it in the box after I had already got the weapon from the safe, so you can get it. Obviously you can't pick up both, but it was just interesting to know I could actually get it from the box despite the fact I already had it on me. Now the third way, which may be possible, is by being able to actually craft the wonder weapon from parts, but I'm not sure at this point. I'm really not sure. If that is possible, obviously I'll let you guys know, but so far I don't think that has been found, so I'm assuming the main way to do it is the main way I showed you guys in this video, or trials, or the mystery box. But that is how to get the wonder weapon and to upgrade it. The Cerberus, it's pretty decent, as I'm sure you know from the gameplay. I really enjoyed using it, but if you need to watch any other Mauer Der Toten guides, then click the card on screen or a link in the description for that playlist with a bunch of different guides for this new zombies map. Thank you for watching, hope you found it useful. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video, it really helps me out, and feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on to stay up to date with all my latest videos in Warzone and Black Ops Cold War. I've also got lots of guides for leveling up weapons, leveling up your tiers and things like that, so plenty on my channel if you guys need. But thanks for watching, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys all on the next video.